Have you been wondering what is actually within this $4.5 trillion big beautiful bill, otherwise known as the stimulus bill or the tax bill? Well, believe it or not, most people don't have any idea what is inside this thing. Well, I want to break down some of the key details that are within the bill for you here in this video so you can see what is out there and what may be within this for you. I'm also going to pop up this article on the screen for you in just a second so you can see the breakdown of what's in it. Now, this is a pretty good article that I found. There's a lot of them that are out there. To be fair with you, this is actually an article from a couple days ago, but after all the searching that I did, I found this one. I thought, this is actually a pretty well-written article. It highlights the comprehensive overview of what's in this bill, and just wanted to point it out for you. So we will talk about some of the key details again in this, and I'm going to pop it up on your screen, but I want to point out just the ones out there that I do believe will probably impact the vast majority of the population. There's a lot of other key details in this legislation that honestly probably doesn't have a whole lot of impact on many people out there or anybody. But again, I'm just going to point out some of the key ones that are out there. Now, I also want to give a huge shout out to Anthony Raymond. He, along with 3,000 people here in this community, have reached out to that team of trusted advisors right there to get some help with their Medicare plans. Well, Anthony Raymond reached out down below in the comment section the other day, and he said that he called Chapter, again, with that phone number right there, along with 3,000 other people, and they helped him with his Medicare plan, helped him find a better plan and get better coverages, which was absolutely amazing, and Anthony is very, very happy with that. So again, Anthony, thank you so much for reaching out. I really do appreciate that, and that's awesome. So if you've not done so, and if you are one of the 70 million people on Medicare, seriously, call that team of trusted advisors. It is 100% for free, and hopefully they can find you a better plan with better coverages and save you a ton of money, just like they've done for so many people here in this community. And Anthony is also honestly very happy based on his comment and what he wrote there, as they were able to find him a better plan and better coverages as well. Which, quick side note, the average senior that is calling with that phone number right there is saving $1,100. That's the average savings. Some save more, some save less, but that is the average. Absolutely incredible, right? Anyway, after you call them, again, with that phone number right there, you have a great conversation, whatever it happens, leave me a comment down below and just use the keyword chapter in your comment, as that is how I find these comments, as I search by that keyword. And then I'd love to feature you and give you a shout out in a future video. All right, anyway, again, Anthony Raymond, thank you so much for reaching out. Really, really appreciate that. And let's pop up this article right here, right now. Here you go. Here is the article. Feel free to read through it, but I'm going to point out just some of the key details that are out there that are going to impact the vast majority of the population in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, not all the provisions within this are going to impact everybody, but to some degree, everybody will be impacted in some way, shape, or form. Okay, starting at the top here, no more taxes on tips and overtime, right? Yeah, no more taxes on tips and overtime. Now, do you notice that there's one thing that's missing? No more taxes on Social Security. Yeah, that's not in there. Can't be in there. Legally, it cannot be in there because Social Security cannot be reformed within the reconciliation bill, and that's what this is, okay? So anyway, there you go, okay? No more taxes on tips and on overtime pay. Now, they've also boosted, and you probably heard me talk about this before in another video, they boosted the senior deduction on a federal tax return from $1,600 up to $6,000. This is not a check. I want to make that very clear. This is not a check coming to you, but rather it is an additional deduction for seniors aged 65 and over who can take the extra deduction above and beyond the standard deduction to reduce your tax liability. And this is in exchange, according to lawmakers, this is in exchange for no more taxes on Social Security, okay? So if you're a married couple filing jointly and your income is below $150,000, you could have $6,000 additional per person of a deduction, which would be $12,000 of deductions above and beyond your $30,000 standard deduction. So you would get $42,000 of deductions, not checks, deductions available to you on your federal return. Your state, well, that's a different story, but this is the federal level as well, okay? So honestly, that for seniors, that's honestly really good. That's $6,000. That's really nice. It's not forever. It's only through 2028, okay? So I want to point that out for you. By the way, I have dedicated videos here talking about that. That's a really big one that's out there for seniors, and I focus on seniors primarily here in this community, so that's just something I want to point out for you. Okay, that. Now, the child tax credit payment. I know many people here in this community may not apply for this, but just want to throw it out there anyway. It's $2,000, okay? They're raising it up to $2,200. I'm going to be honest with you. I think they're kind of cheap here. I think they're being kind of cheap here on this one, okay? They had proposals to raise it significantly. The most recent was raising it to $2,500, but they failed on that even. So they're doing it to $2,200. They're raising it by 10%, which I guess if you look at it on a percentage basis, it's like, a 10% boost, that's not bad. But I feel like, you guys are being cheap. Yeah, they're being cheap by this. That's my opinion anyway. But I guess it's better than nothing, okay? They even talked about raising it to $5,000. That would have been incredible, but no, they didn't do that, okay? They raised it to $2,200, will be the new child tax credit payment, and that's also going to be indexed to inflation, okay? So it's going to adjust a little bit each and every year, but $2,200 as of now is what that's going to be. Now, this may not apply to any people here in this community, but I'm going to throw it there anyway because it may apply to some, which is they're going to be extending the 100% deduction for businesses on basically business equipment, things like that. So they had this a few years ago. It phased out. It's down at 40% now this year, and they're bumping it back up to 100% deduction for business expenses, things like that. Talk to your accountant, talk to your CPA. That is not me. I'm not your CPA. I'm not your accountant. All I'm saying is that that'd be now. And that is actually retroactive back to January 20th of this year, which is pretty cool, right? So if you're a business owner, that's a really, really nice thing for you. That'd be included there. Okay. This is another one that I focused on here in the on the channel in other videos, which is food stamps Medicaid. There's a lot of people, 72-ish million people enrolled in Medicaid, and obviously there's some overlap, but about 42 million people enrolled in food stamps. There's a lot of overlap between these two, but here you go. There's a lot of people that are encompassed here. They're going to be increasing the age range in which people need to fulfill the work requirements of 80 hours per month or 20 hours per week. By the way, work requirements also includes working, volunteering, schooling, skill training, things like that, okay? But anyway, they're going to be implementing this. Now, they're going to be raising the age range up to the age of 65. So through the age of 64, up to the age of 65, they would need to fulfill these work requirements. Now, clarification on that. That is just people who are ABAWD. That stands for able-bodied adults without dependents. It's not everybody, okay? So if somebody has a disability, they are exempt. They're excluded. They do not need to do this if somebody has a disability. This is just for able-bodied adults without dependents, okay? That's kind of rough. They're raising the age range by 10 years on this. This is nuts. But anyway, that's that. Now, they also changed the provision on dependents. Okay, so previously they were going to basically call a dependent anybody under the age of 7, so 6 and under. That's really messed up. But anyway, they changed it now. They've actually increased it significantly. It's still well below where it was, but they've increased it from those ridiculous levels of 6 and under. But now it is 13 and under. So 14 and above is no longer considered a dependent, but 13 and under is still qualifies as a dependent. Okay, so just want you to be aware of that. They've also talked about implementing a $35 deductible or copay for people that are on Medicaid. Sorry, Medicaid, not Medicare, Medicaid. Okay, now this is interesting because if you're somebody on Medicaid, what do you typically pay for a copay? Like $3 max? Yeah, exactly. It's not much. A couple dollars. A lot of times it's $0, but maybe it's $1 or $3. That's it. But they're talking about raising that to $35 for people on Medicaid as copays. Okay. Anyway, those are some of the key ones. Obviously, as you can see, they're in that article. There's a whole lot more in this than just what I talked about here. But I think what I encompassed here in this video, will probably encompass the vast majority here in this community, or the vast majority of the population to some degree, okay? They certainly could have done a whole lot more on this. They could have done a whole lot less, but for the most part, this will impact in some way, shape, or form the majority of the population. Not everybody. I want to make that clear. It's definitely not everybody, but a huge percentage of the population will be impacted by this in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's good or bad, or, we could have done better, certainly, but this is just what we're talking about, okay? Anyway, I will continue to keep you posted on this as we get further details, anything like that, but this is what we know as of right now. Anyway, I hope this helps you in some degree. Otherwise, again, if you have not done so, make sure to join Anthony Raymond and the other 3,000 people. Call that team of trusted advisors. If you are somebody on Medicare, again, there's 70 million people on Medicare, nearly 12,000 people a day becoming eligible for Medicare, about 330,000 people a month becoming eligible for Medicare, almost, like a million people every 3 months? A million people a quarter? It's just nuts, these numbers, right? 4 million people a year becoming eligible for this. Point being is that if you're on Medicare, you've got to call this team of trusted advisors. Just see what they will find for you. It is 100% free. Absolutely zero risk to you whatsoever. You just make a 5, 10, 15, maybe 20-minute phone call. They're going to ask you a few questions to understand your situation. They're going to look through the 20,000 plus plans across the country to find you the best plan at the best price with the best coverages and the best fit for you and your personal needs. So you can see the doctors you want, the providers you want to see, the networks you want to be within, the offices, the clinics you want to go to, the prescription needs if you have any at all. They're going to look through all that, find you your options, and see what plan options you have available to you and present your options. Again, totally free for them to do that for you. And again, you never know. 90% of seniors are on the wrong Medicare plan. There's a lot of people out there on the wrong plan. Only 10% of people are on the right plan for them. Point being is that you don't know what other options are out there. It's always worth asking. You could possibly get a better plan with significantly better coverages and save you a ton of money along the way. You just don't know. That's why it's so important to ask. That's my motto in life. Ask, and a lot of times you're going to receive, okay? It's nuts. I ask all the time because I've learned. Ask, and you receive a lot of the times. Don't ask, and you're not going to get anything. You're going to get jack if you don't ask. Okay, that's just kind of how it goes. So anyway, there's nobody coming around knocking on your door saying, hey, you want to save a bunch of money today? It's not how it works. There's people knocking on your door saying, hey, you want to buy some useless junk today? Right? That's usually how it goes. So anyway, I'm here for any way there possibly can be. Again, huge shout out to Anthony Raymond. Thank you so much for the comment. Really appreciate that. Glad that you found some value from calling the team of trusted advisors with your Medicare plan. And that's awesome. So anyway, make sure to call them. And after you talk to them, leave a comment down below. Let me know how it goes. And just let me know what happened. And make sure to leave the keyword in your comment, the word chapter in your comment, because then I can find it more easily. I can just search that word chapter in the comment section and I can find it a lot easier. Then I can give you a shout out and feature you in an upcoming video. Otherwise, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Big subscribe button down below. Please share the video. Big share button down below. Like the video. Thumbs up button down below as well. Otherwise, feel free to share that phone number with your friends, family members, neighbors, acquaintances, siblings, coworkers, parents, neighbors down the street, neighbors down the hall, anybody that you know that needs that information that's on Medicare. And when they save a bunch of money, then you get all that credit, which is pretty awesome as well. Otherwise, enjoy your day. Please check out the nearly 6,000 videos on the channel in the video library. The popular videos I've hand selected for you down below in the description or popping up on your screen right here, right now. Check those out. Until next time, enjoy, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.